Hello, my name is Khaled, and in this video I will explain about this assignment. So first, in this assignment I have to program two push buttons, one to to open the door and the other to close the door. And at the same time, I should display the proper content on the LCD. So to open the door, I have to run the motor clockwise direction, and to close the door, I have to run the motor anti-clockwise direction. So let's see the code, how it goes. First, I have assigned the names LCD data bus, LCD control bus to port B and D, and the direction of the data bus and direction of the control bus to trash B and trash D. I have three functions, one to generate a delay, and the other to send the commands, and the last one to send the data to the LCD. And in the main function, I have started declaring the variables to write on the LCD. Door is opening, door is closing, clockwise, anti-clockwise, my name and ID. And also character I, all characters, but these are arrays, and this character to as a counter to use it in the for loop. Okay, after that I have configured the IO ports. After that I have initialized them, and I have initialized the LCD as well. After that we enter the forever loop. In this loop, we have bunch of if else statements. In the first if statement, um for the motor to run clockwise direction. So this represents the button, the first button. When this button is pressed, it will send 1 to RC2. So in order to prevent overwriting on the LCD, I have created other if else statement inside. In if statement, it will check if the motor is already running or not. So at the first time the program will enter this loop, the motor obviously will not be running. So it will go to the else statement. In else statement, it will start run the motor that connected to RC0. That means it will run clockwise direction to open the door, and it will clear the display, and it will display the door is opening on the first line, and on the second line it will display clockwise direction. Alright, and after that, when the program execute this if statement second time and third time, as long as I have pushed this button, it will keep running the motor clockwise direction. And same thing goes to the second else if statement. That will check the other button and it will run anti-clockwise direction. In the else statement, I have just released the buttons. The program will execute this statement. It will check if the motor is already stopped or not. If not, it will go to the else statement first. It will stop the motors and display my name on the first line of the LCD and my ID on the second line. As long as I have not pushed any button, it will execute this statement, which is to keep stopping the motor. And that's it for the programming part. Let's build and load the hex file into the program. Load the hex file. Alright, debug it. Alright, so let's see the connection. For the LCD, I have connected to port D for the control bus and port B for data bus. After that, for the motor, it's connected to the ground for the outs A and B, and for N, A and B connected to RC0 and RC1. And we have a power supply that generates 5 voltage to it. For buttons, we have RC2 and RC3. Both are active high buttons. Alright, let's test it now. Let's push this button RC2 that will rotate the motor clockwise direction and display doors opening and clockwise on the LCD. And when I release it, it will display my name and stop the motor immediately. After that, I will push the other button. It will rotate the motor anti-clockwise direction and it will display the proper content on the LCD. Thank you and goodbye.